This is the Medicine Hat and District Chamber of Commerce with your daily COVID-19 update for April 1st. There was welcome news with the additional details on the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy. The program includes individuals, taxable corporations, partnerships, not-for-profit organizations, and registered charities. The government would apply a rate of 75% on the first $58,700 normally earned by employees, representing a benefit of up to $847 per week. The program would be in place for a 12-week period from March 15th to June 6th. Eligible employers who suffer a drop in gross revenue of at least 30% in March, April, or May, when compared to the same month in 2019, would be able to access the subsidy, and it would include employers of all sizes across all sectors of the economy with the exception of public sector entities. The government is trying to get administrative details out as rapidly as possible and are still looking at criteria for businesses who have just started in the past year. We're hoping that they'll look at a month-over-month revenue for these types of businesses, but more details are yet to be announced. For nonprofit organizations and registered charities similarly affected by a loss of revenue, the government will continue to work with the sector to ensure the definition of revenue is appropriate to their circumstances. Eligible employers would be able to access the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy by applying through the Canada Revenue Agency online portal. The portal is expected to be made available within the next 3 weeks, with payments taking up to 3 weeks after application. The government is urging all employers to sign on for direct deposit, as there are only about 50% of businesses currently on direct deposit with Revenue Canada right now. By doing so, it will allow your business to get money that much more quickly with deposits made to the business owner's account. In addition, the previously announced temporary wage subsidy is still available. So for organizations that do not qualify for the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy, they can qualify for the previously announced temporary wage subsidy of 10% of remuneration paid from March 18th to before June 20th. Up to a maximum subsidy of $1,375 per employee and $25,000 per employer, which is applied through a reduction in remittances to government. The temporary wage subsidy program is a 3-month measure to allow eligible employers to reduce their payroll deductions required to be remitted to the CRA. The 10% subsidy is not based on revenue decreases and is just done through decreasing your remittance to the federal government. The subsidy must be calculated manually, as the CRA will not automatically calculate the allowable subsidy. You must still continue deducting income tax, CPP, and EI contributions, and then the subsidy is calculated based on the remittance amount to CRA. You cannot reduce your remittance of CPP or EI premiums. Businesses can start reducing payroll remittances on the first remittance period that includes remuneration paid from March 18th to June 19th. And the subsidy is considered taxable income. There's also a number of other programs, so please don't forget about them, including the deferral of your GST, as well as custom duties owed for imports. There's also the deferral of your payment of income taxes until August 31st. Businesses can now access the new Canada Emergency Business Account and the Small and Medium-Sized Enterprise Loan and Guarantee Program, as well as increased credit through Farm Credit Canada for agricultural producers in agri-food sectors. There's also the work sharing program, which many businesses are not aware of. It's there to help avoid layoffs where there's a temporary decrease in business activity beyond the control of the employer. The program provides EI benefits to eligible employees who agree to reduce their normal working hours and share the available work while their employer recovers. A work-share unit must reduce its hours of work by at least 10% up to 60%, and the agreement must be at least 6 consecutive weeks long and can last up to 26 consecutive weeks, with the option to extend these agreements up to a total of 76 weeks. So make sure to take a look at that for more information. There was additional information announced around the Canada Emergency Response Benefit, and of course that's going to be open for applications on April 6th at canada.ca/coronavirus. This provides temporary emergency income support to workers who have stopped working and are without employment or self-employment income for reasons related to COVID-19. You cannot collect both the Canada Emergency Response Benefit and wage subsidies from your employer. It is one or the other. The CERB will be available to workers residing in Canada who are at least 15 years old, who have stopped working because of COVID-19, who had income of at least $5,000 in 2019 or in the 12 months prior to the date of their application, and who are expected to be without employment or self-employment income for at least 14 consecutive days in the initial 4-week period. Canadians who would generally be eligible for EI benefits would be directed to apply for the CERB through Service Canada, and Canadians who would generally not be eligible for EI benefits would be directed to apply for the CERB through the CRA's My Account or CRA's automated toll-free line at 1-800-959-2019, which is a dedicated line for CERB applications. The CERB will be paid in blocks of 4 weeks in the amount of $2,000, which is equivalent to $500 per week. And if an individual situation continues, they can reapply for payment for multiple 4-week periods to a maximum of 16 weeks. Canadians can get ready to apply for the CERB by signing up to My Account or My Service Canada account. They should make sure that their direct deposit and mailing information is up to date with CRA. The benefit is retroactive to March 15th up to October 3rd. There's more information in terms of the application open date and the guidelines for processing on our website. So please make sure you take a look at that information because it does give you guidance in terms of when to apply. In addition, the provincial government announced that it's expanding eligibility for select licensed childcare centres in order to provide childcare for all essential service workers. In addition to the previous eligibility for frontline healthcare workers, critical infrastructure workers, and first responders, childcare is now available to anyone who works in critical areas outlined as essential by the government. Of course, that list can be found on our website and is on the Government of Alberta website. Parents who work in these areas can contact the childcare centres that are open in their communities, and a list of those centres are found online. There's also some additional measures for just community supports and resources, including making sure that Alberta's food supply chain is continuous and that we can strengthen our food supply. So the provincial government is partnering with the Canadian Food Inspection Agency to increase food inspector capacity. The Government of Alberta has also reduced the backlog of lab tests. And there's an update on special event licenses. So, of course, as a result of the limitation of mass gatherings to a maximum of 15 people, AGLC has temporarily suspended the special event licensing application process on its website. There's some additional details with regards to our advocacy and some new resources, including the Canadian Chamber's letter regarding medical cannabis, and new resources including a Build Alberta document around operating construction work sites during COVID-19. You can check out the new webinars and the on-demand webinars in our daily updates. And for all your information and resources on COVID-19, you can visit us online at medicinehatchamber.com. Thank you and take care.